Our campus community is blessed with so many amazing people who embody BYU-Idaho's mission to develop disciples of Jesus Christ who are leaders in their homes, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and in their communities. We want to introduce you to some of them and let you hear their stories. This is the BYU-Idaho Disciple Journeys podcast. I'm Isabella Salazar. My interview today is with Primrose Kambamura, and this is Primrose's Journey. I'm here with Primrose Kambamura, who is a second-year communication student at BYU-Idaho. And just to begin, Primrose, can you tell me about how you were introduced to the church? I understand that you're originally from Zimbabwe. Can you just kind of walk me through that process?
Okay, so I don't know. When I see foreign people when I saw foreign people, I got excited. So this other day, I was just walking with my mom, and then I spotted people who looked new and different. So I was like, yeah, I want to talk to them. I want to know what they're all about. I didn't know that they were the missionaries because, the missionaries, they preach the gospel and try to meet people on the street. So yeah, I didn't know about the church then. I was just walking with my mom on the street. So I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I really want to talk to these people. So can you just stay with me and we can talk to them? And my mom was like, no, I don't want to be part of this. So she left me. And I waited for the missionaries to come close to where I was. And I was like, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to introduce myself to them? And yeah, they stopped and they were like, we're the missionaries of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Can we get your number? So I was like, oh, I didn't know what the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints was. So I was like, oh, maybe they're going to take me on a date or something. So yeah, I was so excited, like, oh my goodness, these people, they like me, I like them too.
So you thought it was going to be a date?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're like, can we have your address so we can come and visit? Yeah, that got me so excited, like, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so they came to my house on Sunday, and I just prepared everything. I cleaned the house. I just made everything look good. And yeah, they came and they started pulling out scriptures. I was like, what is going on?
You're like, what kind of date is this?
Yeah. So, yeah, then when they were teaching us, I was kind of like, oh, okay, this is interesting. It's not a date, but I can go with it. So, yeah, they started asking us, like, do you know the plan of salvation? And do you know where you came from, where you're going after this? So, yeah, the answers that they gave me were kind of interesting. Like, we come from heavenly parents, and yeah.
So is that like kind of the part of the gospel that resonated the most with you as you were learning?
Yeah, it was so interesting because I didn't know that there's a spirit world that we go to after we die. So yeah, that was so interesting. So my sister and I were the only ones who attended the lessons, and my parents didn't want to be part of it. But yeah. Then the missionaries, they scheduled to come back and teach us the following week. But then we waited for them and they didn't come. I think it was that time during COVID, so they were sent back to their country, to the United States, and we didn't know that they were gone. They just left without telling us.
Wow.
So yeah, we waited for them and waited and waited. And we didn't hear where they were, what happened. So my sister and I, we just thought, like, maybe we offended them. Maybe we asked them bad questions or something.
Wow.
Yeah. And I met them in February. So they left that month. And 6 months passed by and we didn't hear anything.
Wow.
So, Yeah. My sister and I were like, my sister and I were like, okay, they're not coming back, so let's just go back to the church that we were attending. Then in June, a message came randomly on my mom's phone. I was just playing a game. I was playing Candy Crush. So a random number showed up. It was like, is this Sister Primrose and Sister Pretty? My sister's name is Pretty. So I was like, yeah, who is this? And they were like, we're the missionaries of the Church of Jesus Christ. And I was like, yes, I screamed so loud. I was so happy to hear from them. So yeah, they came and they started teaching us. Actually, we had our lessons online because it was COVID and they were not allowed to go outside and teach. And my sister, she just had this feeling of going on a mission.
Wow.
So she decided to get baptized the next month, like in July. So that was kind of weird to me. Like, why are you getting baptized? We just met these people. And she was like, no, I want to go on a mission. I just have this feeling to go. I was like, okay, fine.
Wow. That's really cool.
Yeah. So when my sister decided to get baptized, I was like, no, I'm just going to keep learning, but I don't think I want to join this church. And then a week before my sister's baptism date, I just had this feeling like, go outside. So I went outside the house and I thought about my sister's baptism a lot. Then I was like, yeah, I think this church is true. I just had that feeling, like a feeling of joy and happiness. Like, yeah, I also want to join this church. And then a feeling was like, send a message to the missionaries and tell them that you want to get baptized. So I ran into the house and got my mom's phone and sent the message to the missionaries. I was like, is it possible for me to get baptized the same day as my sister?
Wow.
Yeah. And they were like, yeah, we can still do it. We will have the interviews on Saturday, the next Saturday. And and they're like, we'll have the interviews the next Saturday. So we can also interview you too. And yeah, they came to our house the next day. I never felt so happy, like I was making the right decision. So
yeah, wow. And how did your mom feel about it? Because I know initially she didn't even want to learn from them.
Well, my mom was very supportive of it. Like, she was happy that we did that. But then my dad, he was like, why are you leaving this church that we're already in? So yeah, he just didn't want to be part of it. But I'm glad that my mom was there all the way.
Yeah, that's nice. So did your dad go to your baptism or?
No, he didn't.
Gotcha. Wow. And yeah, so that's really cool that you wanted to be baptized with your sister. How did you feel about it all after the baptism?
After the baptism, I felt peace and I felt so much joy. And that's kind of linked to how I ended up coming here too.
Okay, yeah, tell me about it.
So I got baptized, I think it was Sunday. Yeah. And my brother had this TV in his room that I liked going to watch. So yeah, on Monday, I just went into his room and I turned on the TV. It's because I wanted to watch these cartoons that I always watched. So I was just scrolling through the TV, like looking at the channels. Then I came across this channel that was talking about Joseph Smith. I was like, oh, isn't this the guy that the missionaries are talking about? So I just stayed on that channel for a little bit just to find out what it's about. Because, yeah, I wanted to know more about the church. So an ad came up. It was like BYU TV. And I was like, I wonder what that is. So I searched on the internet and found out that BYU is a church university. I was like, that looks so interesting. I want to go there. I want to know more about this. So after that day, every day I just went in my brother's room just to watch BYU TV. So yeah, I would wait for the devotionals to come up because I just felt one with the students who were going into the, what is it called? The building where the devotionals are. And yeah, I'll just set up some chairs and pretend like I'm also part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I would wait for the devotionals, take notes, and just pray, be like, I hope that one day I'll attend this in person. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So what was the process like of, like, when did you decide that you wanted to apply to school here, and just, what did that kind of transition look like from moving from Zimbabwe to Rexburg?
It was so hard coming here from Zimbabwe because, so I wanted to apply to BYU Provo. So this other day I told a missionary who was serving in my country, I told him and I said, I want to go to BYU Provo. I was just joking when I said that. And he was like,
joking, but not joking.
Yeah. And he was like, why don't you want to go to BYU-Idaho? I think it's better. I was like, no, I want to go to BYU Provo. I've already started sending emails there. And he said, do you have the money and everything to go there? I was like, no, because I was like so broke. But yeah. He was like, okay, I'm going to help you. So he helped me with the application and everything. So yeah, it was so hard because I had people like my branch president telling me that you are not going to make it. It's not easy getting there, so just give up. So yeah, I had times of being like, maybe I should just let this go. But then this missionary, he kept pushing me like, no, don't give up. Just keep going. And then I came so far that I went to my visa interview. I was like, wow, so this is actually happening. I'm actually applying to BYU-Idaho. That's so amazing. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I didn't really make it on my first visa interview, but then I almost gave up too. And something told me to go back for the second interview. And I got my visa the second time, so yay.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really cool. So yeah, tell me a bit about the adjustment then to moving here.
Moving here was very interesting. Like when I got here, the cold weather just hit me in the face.
Yeah, it does that.
Mm-hmm. It was so fun too to see like a lot of members of the church in one place. Like everyone knows what the church is about. It's just one spirit, one environment. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool. So was there anyone here, whether a student or a professor, that helped you either with the transition to living here in the States or just kind of helped you along your journey here?
A lot of people have helped me. First of all, it's my sponsors. They help me with housing and food and everything that I need. And the fun thing that I saw is that this other day, I ran out of money when I was trying to buy something at Walmart. And then this nice lady who was behind me was like, oh, I'll pay for the rest of the things. So
really, that is so nice.
I was like, oh, I just cried that day. So that was awesome. And yeah, I have great teachers too, and my classmates. It's like everyone is there to help one another and lift each other up. So,
Yeah, that's really cool. So you came here to BYU-Idaho, and you stayed here.
Yep.
It's been 2 years now. What has been your reason for staying this whole time?
my reason for staying, the going to classes, and yeah.
Yeah, it's just been like a good fit, would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Is there anything here that you've learned that has helped you maybe with your testimony, or that you feel is good preparation for graduation and just moving forward in life?
Yeah, I feel like I've grown a lot and I've changed from who I used to be when I was still in Zimbabwe, because I think when I was still in my country, I was like someone who's always angry at people and not believing in myself sometimes. But here people motivate you to do good and to have Christ-like attributes. So I'm kind of learning that every day and learning more about myself, that I can do greater things. And yeah, I guess people here, they push me to my full potential. So yeah.
Yeah, that's really encouraging. Is there any advice that you have for an international student here, or maybe for someone who is still a little bit new to the church?
Yeah, I'd say that don't give up, like just keep going. And even if there are people who oppose you to what you want to do, just don't listen to them. It's best to tell Heavenly Father all your plans, your dreams, and He'll make it come true. If you communicate with Him more and stop listening to negative thoughts or negative people, then you can achieve what you want to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My last question for you is, how has your experience at BYU-Idaho helped you draw closer to Christ?
I like how we start our classes like with prayer and singing the hymns, and also like going to church together with the roommates and seeing your classmates around. And I love how people like here, everyone is just trying so hard to be nice to each other. Even if someone is having a bad day, they'll try to make sure that someone is feeling better. So yeah, I guess the people here, they're all just so Christ-like. And that's also made me want to be there for someone and try my best to also be like Christ.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Thanks for listening to the BYU-Idaho Disciple Journeys podcast, a production of BYU-Idaho Radio. A special thanks to our guest, Primrose Kambamura. Our theme music is by Sophia Pack, and I'm Isabella Salazar. You can listen to more episodes on your favorite podcast app or find us online at byui.edu/radio.